in the grave, and the other sliding on a banana peel.
So
Garvey has been my life.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So you got back to Jamaica. How did you get back to Jamaica? Because it's interesting, your story here, and it's very interesting. I'd really like the world to know that.
Okay. About, I want to get it right. I came home before my husband because I wanted to see. I was thinking ahead. I was in my 50s, and I said, well, when I retire, I don't know whether I want to retire in Africa or Mr. Garvey's country. But I like the idea of coming to Mr. Garvey's country, you know,
Yes.
because he was black and African and part of Africa, so I wasn't losing out on anything. So I came to visit Jamaica, Little Africa. I loved the land from the airplane down, but I didn't like the people. They didn't want to be black.
Yeah.
They were half this and half the other and half and half. I said, let me get the hell out of here. So I came in 1965, right after independence, because I sent my daughter over for independence. She was 18 about. And I said, I'm not coming back to Jamaica. But when I went to Africa, 1968, 1970, 1972 to get the feel of Africa. And it was fabulous. You know, nobody was living in a tree like we had been told.
Right.
They were living in houses like this, you know.
Yes.
And when I got there, I found out they had the same thinking as Jamaicans. They weren't Africans. I said, well, let me go back to Jamaica. At least I can understand them. I can understand the language.
Yes.
So then when my husband retired when he was 65. No, he retired when he was 62 because he wanted to get home now. Yeah, he didn't wait for the 65. So he retired and he's a photographer too. And that's my little friend over there, Albert. He looks out for me. But I'm just so thrilled with the little voice that called me this morning. That little voice was so full of fun and happiness for the day, you know.
Thank you.
And I said, well, I'd rather give up anything today, the lunch and all of that kind of stuff, to be with this little voice.
But Queen Mother, I've read so much of Follow Your Pathway to right here, and your story is such a wonderful story because it teaches us loyalty.
Yes.
It teaches us how to stay the course no matter what.
Yeah.
And your life is an example for our younger children, and that's why we're preserving this, that many hundreds of years to come, they will know that a Queen Mother Samad actually existed, and the works and the loyalty that you have had as an American citizen, because that's the big point here, because home here in Jamaica, we don't honor the Honorable Marcus Garvey like we ought to. So you, as an American citizen, come in here, hopefully some of our children who watch this can get to understand that, hey, Mr. Garvey is one of the greatest black men that was ever born on the planet Earth.
That's right.
I gave up. I used to live in the United States of America. I went there when I was 23 years old. It was then and there that I found out about Mr. Garvey. Can you imagine? And I was actually born in the same parish in Jamaica that he was born, in St. Anne. Didn't know about Mr. Garvey till I was 23. And let me tell you how I found out about Mr. Garvey. Greatness is all greatness. Anyway, I found out about the Honorable Marcus Garvey through Martin Luther King, Malcolm X,
Good friend
Nelson
of mine,
Mandela,
Malcolm
X.
Good friend.
And I found about all these people that respected and rated Mr. Garvey. It was then and there that I knew that Mr. Garvey inspired all these great people.
Yes.
So I started to research Mr. Garvey, and I started reading his books and so on. And I'm amazed of his potential to know how great this man is.
Did you know that in the Statue of Liberty,
Yes.
you have a picture of Mr. Garvey almost as big as this house?
Wow.
On the Statue of Liberty in New York. Inside the statue. Wow.
When I went in there and I saw it, I said, "Oh my God!" And the guard came running. He said, "What?" I said, "What do you want to know about Marcus Garvey?" He said, "I don't know. They say he was great." In the Statue
They
of
know
Liberty.
about it, man. They know about it.
I know that the bust. I know that his bust is in the what do you call it? The Office of Legions in Washington D.C. The Halls of Legion. His bust is there since 1982.
His bust is everywhere.
But it's everywhere.
Everywhere, you know. And in England, and well, I guess you call it the UK. Okay, in the UK, when I went there for his 100th birthday, he was really lauded.
Wow.
Lauded by, you know, the blacks and a lot of the whites too in England. You
So
know?
tell us a little bit about your association now with, say, Malcolm X. Because he was a great human being.
Well, in America, we say he was our boom coon.
Oh, boom coon.
Boom coon. That's not a nice word, but anyway, he was our boom coon.
Okay, tell us a little bit about him and his association with the Honorable Marcus Garvey and the teaching.
Now, well, of course, Malcolm would not have met Marcus Garvey, but he got the studies of Marcus Garvey from his father. And he went to prison.
Yes.
And the more he was in prison and he met up with Islam and all of these things, he found that Marcus Garvey was into everything.
Yes.
So he knew he was in the right place.
Yes.
How I became part of him, I worked for the mayor of Harlem.
Yes.
And every day, Malcolm and I would meet in the bookstore. The black bookstore on 7th Avenue, Mr. Mashaw's bookstore.
Yes.
We'd meet there for lunch, and we'd be talking about Mr. Garvey and all of these things, you know.
Yes.
That I'm so full because remember, you're meeting me today on short notice.
Yes. Yes.
You know.
Yes.
To be able to tell you how I feel about this great man. And he's a joke because you can't get the people here to buy this picture, you know.
Exactly.
They'll spend $1,000 US tonight giving parties, but they won't buy that picture. They'll say, "Yeah, man, he was great," and they'll spend $1,000 US on a party tonight. One friend of mine bought $1 million car and drove it in. And when I asked her, you know, would she get it? She said, "There's something about us, you know." But he will never die, no matter who tries.
He'll never die.
And people like you and you and you and you and you. You stayed slim.
Tell us
Stayed
about
slim
that.
and beautiful.
Tell us about that incident when your son was actually mistaken by a gang of youths and you had to
Teddy.
change- Teddy, yes. Tell us a little bit about Teddy.
Teddy, he had a TNT, his initials. Teddy, I wanted his initials to be TNT. Theodore Nyanza Thomas. See? Nyanza. And TNT, bomb. And we lived in the housing development, the Abraham Lincoln houses in Harlem. And there was another TNT downstairs, but he was a cute little gangster.
Yeah.
And some fellas came. How did you find out about that?
I did the research. I did everything. I read upon you, Queen Mother. I've been reading about you for a long time. I know everything about you.
Wonderful.
And that's why I want the rest of the world too, you know, because a lot of people might not want to take up a book and read and research, but if they see a visual, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might catch their attention.
Oh.
Because, you know, they say a picture's worth more than 1,000 words. Can you imagine a video?
That's true. Well,
Exactly.
the little gangsters came in to kill the other TNT,
Right.
and the little 5-year-old said, that's not the one, that's not the one. How did a 5-year-old know
no.
that my son was? But when you're Garveyite, there's something, you know, even the children respected the children. He said, no, that's not the one. So up to that time, my husband had been talking about changing our names, you know, and I had been saying, you know, typical girl, I want to keep my father's name. And that was the night I decided, okay, Abdul, you can go change our name now, because he was a Muslim imam. Garvey, he's a Garvey. I have his picture somewhere in the Garvey uniform. He was a staunch Garveyite.
Yes.
My husband. Staunch Garveyite. Yeah.
I'd love to see a picture of him later on.
Yes.
We'll find it later on.
Okay.
Brother Abdul.
Yeah, Brother Abdul Samad.
So he was a Garveyite to the max.
Staunch.
I read that.
Yes, Garveyite to the max.
So that's why you actually married him then, because you didn't tell us what happened. You know, you said you just gave him trouble, but you actually got married to him, and
as a Garveyite.
as a Garveyite.
As a Garveyite.
Was he a member of the Royal African Guards?
Yes.
Yes. That much I remember.
In fact, they let his flags deteriorate. Yeah, in there. It's in there. They let his flags deteriorate, you know. But I'm so sorry. Let me see. Do I have any pictures with the flags? I saw him. I saw the flags this morning. Right there, there's a batch of. Yeah.
Okay.
Presentation.
Okay.
Me and my children. I had a little.
Wow.
Brother, the football group.
Who was it? Who was it? This picture, Queen Mother.
Which one?
This picture I'm looking at right
This
here.
one?
No, this one I'm looking at right here. Who is this gentleman standing behind you?
Oh, he's one of the Rastamen who used to come here. He's passed on now.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's me with the boys.
Okay.
That's his football team.
Okay.
So I was my 91st birthday.
Look at that dress. Can I see that? Let me see. Hold this one up. This dress is on the money, Queen Mother. So you design your own clothes, though? You're a designer then?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Oh, here's a picture I never thought I'd see again. That's me at 15.
Let me see this here.